Ba 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 ba. Yo, 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 yo. Where is the chat? You are missing again. Chat. There we go. Perfect. Born. What up? How's it going? How was your weekend? Are you at work today? You seem to be taking like every other Monday off. Ba, 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 ba. Finally got all at Eden. Well done. So was the last volume, was it on order or did you find that quite recently? And how much money did you spend on it? How many dollars? How many hundreds of dollars? Well, I don't think they're worth hundreds of dollars. Are they worth hundreds? Yeah, some of the volumes are like £20, £25, £30 in English. To be fair, some of the earlier volumes are a little bit cheap. I can imagine there's some of them. Maybe the later ones are probably quite expensive. Real hectic. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear that. Such is life, unfortunately. But make the most of it. I hope it gets better and it dies down work-wise. I just saw the whole collection of Eden online for 70, but then I realized that's Japanese. I wish on eBay and especially Amazon, they didn't list up the non-English titles like at the top. I wish they were at the bottom. Like on Amazon, we always get a lot of the German copies, and the Spanish copies come up on eBay like first, which I don't. Obviously, people still buy them, but it's just annoying when it's like the first, and then you kind of rush by without looking at the language. You got the last volume from Reddit. Was it the final volume? Was it like one of the ones in the middle? I always find that the volumes in the middle are normally the most difficult to pick up. But 90 is pretty good, especially considering you saw the lowest or 250. I think a lot of people, if you look on eBay and like Amazon, they tend to they upscale it so much more because that's what they've seen it sold for in the past, and they just put it hard at that cap. I don't think that's right though. Just because it's at the buy now value doesn't necessarily mean that it's worth that much. There was the whole thing with that the Prom G. He was selling the whole collection of Red River. I don't think someone's at some point is probably going to pay over $1,000 for it, but I don't think it's worth that much. I don't think any manga is worth that much, to be honest. But then it is supply and demand. Geeky, how's your evening going? How have you been? I caught up. I say caught up. I'm on volume 5 of QQ Sweeper. Not QQ Sweeper. Volume 2 of Queen's Quality, but I've read 5 volumes. Super good. Probably the best series I've read all year. Not going to lie. So thank you. Easiest volumes around $25, $50. Yeah, I've just looked on eBay now. That's what I'm kind of seeing the volumes at, a lot of the earlier ones. You can get the first 3 for 30. That's 10 each, which is ridiculous. 8, 9, 10, and 14. Yeah. It's always like that. There's a lot of series that are like 20 volumes, 30 volumes, and they always tend to, the middle ones always tend to be the ones that are difficult to find when they're out of print. Because obviously in mass produce the first, 5 to 10, and then the last batch are normally quite recent in the last few years, and then the ones in the middle, they've only been reprinted once or twice maybe. or there was a short print for some reason. But I'm happy for you. I'm glad. Does that mean you've already read the series though, right? But does that mean you're going to reread the whole thing now? That would be cool. I'm jealous. Maybe you can send me the copies and I'll read them and send them back. Maybe I'll send them back. Maybe. You're good? Yeah. I'm doing pretty good. Just the same as you, I guess. I'm glad that it's starting to cool down though. I can wear jumpers now to stay warm, rather than ripping my skin off to try and stay cool. I haven't started Requiem of a Rose King yet. I had a couple of volumes cancelled on me. I picked up the last volume on Amazon or eBay, depending on where I found it cheapest. And then they just cancelled on me. Or obviously, I must have bought it at the same time as somebody else, or there was just stock issues. So I think I purchased quite a few volumes, and I only ended up getting 2 out of like the 7 that I ordered. So I was a little bit annoyed. So I haven't got into that one yet, but I definitely will, for sure. Sets of Eden, is that Sets of Eden for 1,000? That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, there's people out there who earn a lot of money. They can afford to pick them up, but me, definitely not. It's not for everybody. Those kind of prices. But the thing is, a lot of the series that we're picking up now, will, you know, in 10, 20 years time, they'll probably be worth that amount to the, you know, the then 20, the kids that are growing up now or being born now, who eventually get into manga. I don't know, they want to pick up Vinland Saga or One Piece. To be fair, One Piece will probably still be in print. But there's probably series, I don't know, if Witch Hat becomes really popular. I reckon those series will definitely go up as well at some point. Especially like in this era, series that are coming out right now in the last couple of years, because the amount of volumes there are is so low. It wouldn't surprise me if they go up in like 20 years. We'll reread eventually. Will you reread the physical books, or will you try and keep them in pristine condition? That's the other thing. Was it in good condition when it got to you? That's always the thing with out of print manga. I don't mind buying like damaged copies of like, I don't know, One Piece and, you know, even probably Vinland Saga, some of the box sets. Not box sets, like the hardbacks. I wouldn't mind too much. It's the out of print stuff that I know I definitely won't be able to get another copy of. Yeah, to be fair, Geeky, only like I think it's the first 5 volumes. I say the first 5. Volume 1, 3, 4, no, 1, 3, 5, and 6 were out of stock when after I purchased them, so I couldn't find those. But then all the other volumes are completely fine. They're not always on eBay and Amazon and Forbidden Planet and stuff, but across several different websites, I could probably pick them up. Just the first 3. And I'm not always a big fan of reading online. I had to read QQ Sweeper Volume 1 online, unfortunately. Otherwise, I would never have started the series. Mantis, good day. How's it going? How's your morning, evening, or night going? All right, I just need to quickly reply to a couple of these comments that I was replying to. I don't know why, but for some reason the screen is really dull on my left monitor, and I can tell this because when I drag it over, it turns really light. And the display settings for the monitors shouldn't have any effect on the capturing capabilities of the streaming software that I'm using. Zeus, my guy, where have you been? That's not a dig. How are you doing? How's it going? I know you said a little while ago that you've been missing the streams. I listened to some of your music, by the way. It's pretty rad. You should continue it. All solid, good conditions. Good. Still wrapped? Wow. Considering you saw the cheapest for $250, presuming that was also wrapped, I'm surprised you managed to pick this one up for so cheap. You had to do the Goobicon for some stickers. Ah, good old Goobicon. I've used it so much since the stream that I did to clean the manga. I cleared my whole Death Note series, which had stickers all on the back. There's one library copy of a book that I've got, Stargazing Dog. I need to replenish that as well. The only annoying thing is because it's library, they also have the printed ink on the paper on the side. You got gifted the One Piece box set, I'm presuming. Oh yeah, it's the first box set. Ah, sick. Are you going to start reading it, or have you already started reading it? No, that's good because they're pretty hard to pick up, I think. One Piece box set. In the UK, they pretty much get eaten up almost immediately. Oh, box set 4 is available. Oh no, they're all available. Oh, this one's on bid. So this is box set 1. Obviously, these are UK prices. College has you stressed? Oh, dude. Hopefully it's going well. Study hard. It will be worth all the effort and the stress in the long run. What are you studying? Ark, my guy, how's it going? Why did you change your Twitter handle, by the way? And your profile picture? I'd be interested to see how much this box set 2 goes for. And it doesn't look like the third one is available. So maybe at the moment that's the one that's sold out. 1, 2, 3, £750. That's like nearly $900. That's crazy. Maybe $800, $850. Still, that's mad. Box set 2, $260. There was another one. No, I think the box set 2s are all bid, it looks like. No, this was $200. Have I enjoyed my venture of shoujo so far? Yeah, I've loved every single second of it. There's not a series that I've read so far that hasn't been a disappointment. And I'm not going to lie, QQ Sweeper is by far my favorite. Not to drag it down or anything, but maybe because it has like that little like action, like shonen-esque like feel to it. Plus it's about cleaning, and I love to clean. I'm a bit of a neat freak. You just thought it was a really funny picture of Luffy. It is a funny picture of Luffy. Did you watch the most recent volume? I started stream late because I didn't get a chance to read the most recent chapter. Because normally they released on Sunday. But I think it was a holiday, some sort of holiday in Japan on Sunday. So nothing went live, which I don't understand how that affects the West. But there's obviously some sort of contract between it all. Because obviously it gets released still on a Thursday in Japan. Because obviously all the Scanlation websites have it up on Thursday evening, I think it is. Thursday morning. Yeah, so I had to rush to read it today. It's super good. Super good. You've only seen the first 3 episodes of One Piece. Going to start reading it tomorrow. Good. Start reading it and hopefully stick with it. I think what a lot of people get, they get a little bit intimidated by the length of it, and also at the end of the day, it's a basic action shonen series. It's going to start off slow, and I think a lot of people kind of drop it before they give it a good shot. Yeah, hopefully you enjoy it, and hopefully you'll continue and be able to pick up the rest of the box sets, if not the singles or whatever else is available to you. Definitely a good bridge between shonen. Yeah, it definitely was. And all the other series that I've read have mostly been focused on romance, which is why I came to you. The only one that wasn't really romance was Rose and Blood, which is pretty cool. But Yeah, no, I've been enjoying them all. A lot of them are all happy, which is nice. And I also read Nisekoi recently, which is a harem shonen romance series, and it kind of dragged out. Maybe I'm just not into harem, but it was just quite nice to see that the relationship forms in the first chapter, and then you get to see the relationship grow, which I thought was quite nice. Like I read A Sign of Affection and Imakoi, which was quite nice. You surprised it didn't come? Yeah, I don't know what holiday it was. I'm sure I saw someone online say this. It was a holiday in Japan, but that, like I said, I don't understand how that affects the West, because it's the American Shonen Jump that release it. But I don't know. It is what it is. You're studying physics? Well, that's too big brain for me. But keep it up, dude. Brilliant chapter. Yeah, I think the best part about One Piece for me, after reading it for like 20 years, is definitely the part when they finish an island, because that's when they add so much more lore to the story. The Straw Hats catch up with everything else that's going on in the world, and it happens every time that they finish an island. And probably since, I would say, Alabasta is probably where it started to get interesting, because obviously Robin joins and everything. But yeah, that's the best part. And especially we're so late, you know, over 1,000 chapters in, there's so many characters to include in this. But yeah, I think we're going to hopefully get a couple more chapters with a little bit more information, but I think it might not, now that I think about it. After reading the last chapter, we're probably just going to go sinking straight into the next island, or like the next, I don't know, the next quest, if you will. Try and get some of the other boxes. They do release them quite frequently, so hopefully you can get them. I don't think there's any rush. The box sets are, I think One Piece is going to be around for a while, and the fact that they did a big re-release of the box sets earlier on in the year makes me believe that they'll probably do another one. But yeah, good luck with collecting them whenever you collect them, though. Right, let me go around Circle. Where's Circle? I haven't seen him today. Thanks, dude. I enjoy taking the B-roll shots. I think Oran High School is the only shoujo box set, I think. I could be wrong. I probably am wrong, because I don't know all too much about all the box sets, but I know Viz hasn't done that many box sets all in all. You like seeing the Straw Hats just joke around and interacting? Yeah, I think that's probably why I enjoyed watching the anime so much, because they would elongate that small section. They wouldn't always just go to the next line straight away. They'd drift for ages, which I really enjoyed. And plus they get to bond as well. Obviously, when you get new crewmates in the heat of battle, it's always a little bit, I don't know, it's weird. You think, how, I can understand why Luffy wants the person to join the Straw Hats, but how are they going to interact with everybody else? Are they all going to get along? And that's normally after the island. Once they start joking around, that's when they all start to, you know, bond a little bit. You'd read an entire volume of One Piece Slice of Life. Didn't they do, I don't think it was an anime, but they had a TV advert. I don't know if it was for Coke or for ramen noodles, but they had like a, I don't know, a shoujo looking One Piece where they were all in school and they had all the One Piece characters, and it kind of focused for like 30 seconds on one particular character. Like Zoro was sleeping on the roof and everything. Blackbird is also a box set. It's great. Look, I don't know the popularity of Oran High School or Blackbird, but out of all the box sets to do, out of all the series that are the shoujo series that are complete, you'd think they'd pick something like, I don't know, Cardcaptor Sakura, or actually I don't even know if Viz print that, do they? You know, they could do something like Fruits Basket or Maid Summer or Kami-sama Kiss. And people would lap that up like little kittens. I'm just looking at a bunch of the Viz box sets. And yeah, it looks to be the only two. You hope Call of the Night will be available soon. Yeah, I wanted to pick it up when the anime got announced. I think I watched a Giguk video on it, and he said he said he really enjoyed it. And then I probably was a little bit too late for the party. But when the anime got announced, I looked into getting the volumes, and they were all like sold out. Josh, my man, how's it going? Has 2 or 3 in ones. Still, they could do with a big box set. They got the collector's versions as well for that, for card captors, and Sailor Moon, I think, as well. Rosarian Vampire. That's Shonen, wasn't it? It was in Shonen Jump. I'm pretty sure it was anyway. There's too much fan service in there for it to be a shoujo, surely. And it's about, no, I would say it's about demons, but that doesn't really matter, does it? Yeah, definitely a harem series. Man, I remember watching that years ago. When did that come out? A millennia ago, it feels like. Chris, how's it going? You just watched the Forbidden Planet video? Thanks, and it's recommended. Well, looks like YouTube is doing its job. You're a Brit in Canada? How come you moved to Canada? Work? Relationship? Just wanted to get out of the UK because it's a terrible place to live. Let's do start. Just assume based on the art style. No, yes. Yeah, I think a lot of the old school romance series, probably, and harem series, kind of took inspiration from shoujo. I don't know if all the mangaka were male or not. But things like Love Hina, stuff like that. The girls all kind of look very similar to what you would see in shoujo. Liddy, how's it going? How's your evening? The manga doesn't do the anime doesn't do the manga justice. I remember when watching it, there was just I'm pretty sure I finished it, but I just remember watching it and there was loads of panty shots and we were just taken up by the teddy bear remote. Rosaria. There we go. 2008 I watched it. Man, that's crazy. Ad? I don't know. Ad for an apple peeler? Yeah, this is like some Bible Black animation. When did it come out? Oh, it actually did come out in 2008. And I watched it in a couple of days. And I think I must have watched season 2 weekly. How am I updating my list? So my manga list, I actually have a spreadsheet because I feel like it's a little bit more in depth. But my anime list website is what I use for my anime. Although I haven't watched anime in a long time, not regularly anyway. I think the last anime I watched was Attack on Titan. What the hell was this? Watch episode video. Yeah, the last anime I watched was Attack on Titan, which is a lie because I started Spy Family when it came out. But I haven't really watched that much anime as of late. Work reason, but also Brexit reason. Hey, I don't blame you. But as long as you're happy, as long as you're earning enough to, fill your belly, keep a roof over your head, that's the main thing. But it's nice to know that the algorithm is putting the video out to people, especially to British people, because I feel like you guys will appreciate it more because you understand probably how difficult it will be to get around the whole of England in the space of 2.5 days, and Sunday being a half day. It's pretty hard. Yeah, it's not I wouldn't say it's an enjoyable harem series. Maybe because I was young and dumb, I enjoyed it so much. I think Love Hina was probably one of the most impactful and memorable for a lot of people in the early 2000s. Rosaria, maybe not so much, I don't think. But I think nowadays it's less about it's the women are normally a lot more, what's the word I'm looking for, voluptuous than what they used to be, I would say. Ones like, what's the most recent popular one? Quintessential Quintuplets, that's what I'm thinking. Probably favourable to the algorithm to my upload schedule. Maybe. I mean, most of the people that watch my videos are just subs. And even then, half of the people that are sub don't watch my videos. Because obviously the older you get in YouTube, the more people fall off of you and stop, watching your stuff. But yeah, I think it's around 50-50, but most, like, for the popular videos. But most of the videos I upload, it's mostly subs that watch. I get like maybe 1 or 2 videos every couple of months that get pushed. But I don't know if anyone watches Ludwig, one of the biggest Twitch streamers of all time, moved to YouTube. He did a big interview with Susan, the CEO of YouTube, and she mentions how that if a video isn't having a lot of viewer retention, they just won't pump it into anyone's feed. They'll just stop recommending it. So the video has to be good to an extent. I think mainly just people need to watch it, and that is probably the only video at the moment now that is getting pushed around, as per my analytics anyway. School Days 10 out of 10. Don't call me out. This was 2008. I had left school not too long after this, and I was looking for a job, and I think I lost my job. I say I lost my job. It was a temporary job. I was on for 2 weeks, and they cut me off on the Friday before, so I didn't have to go in, but I still got paid. And I was a little bit annoyed because I had a couple of other job interviews that kind of fell through. So I ended up just staying up all night watching anime. And I started around 10 o'clock at night, maybe 11 o'clock at night on the 23rd of September. And I just watched the whole thing. Now, I am quite a virgin with a lot of things. I'm a late bloomer when it comes to girls and that kind of thing. So when I watched this, most of the concepts inside, the idea of cheating and having multiple girlfriends, and then this end scene at the end, I was just mind blown. I'd never watched anything like this before. And plus I was a big Disney kid when I was younger. So to watch something like this, I was mind blown. I honestly thought it was the best piece of media I'd ever consumed. If you look at everything else that I'd watched before then, Special A, Shoujo, a lot of One Piece, Death Note, which was pretty good. I put that at 10 out of 10 as well. Soul Eater, all the One Piece films, Elfen Lied, Bleach, Naruto, Suzumiya, Gantz. I put that as a 4. A lot of the stuff I'd kind of experienced the kind of stuff before watching Dragon Ball and stuff. But then when you come as like a young shonen kid raised Disney, when you give him something like School Days, yeah, I just assumed I thought it was the best thing ever. You sub because of the Blue Exorcist collection video? I hate that video. I hate it. But I'm glad you stuck around, Zeus. That's much appreciated. But yeah, I would love to watch School Days again. I've only watched it the once, and it's not until people started saying how terrible it is that I thought to myself, oh, maybe I just have bad taste in anime. But this last episode was mental. Episode 12 for young me. I'd never seen anything like it before. I could never have come up with something like this in my life. Kind of had the same thing with Princess Mononoke. Yeah, exactly the same. That was actually, I think Princess Mononoke was my first Studio Ghibli film, or Ghibli, however you want to say it. Let me just quickly go back to some of these comments. Let me like yours, Josh. Read Requiem of a Rose King. I would recommend it, but I haven't read it yet. But you should watch it. Also, even unseasoned chicken can be juicy. School Days goes on your plans, but I don't know if I could recommend it, to be honest. It's I don't even know how to explain it. It's based on a visual novel, a dating sim, where you can just date loads of women. Obviously, you normally only date one. You choose the path that you want to go down, but this is obviously in anime form. But without going into too much spoilers, but he ends up dating a few women. It's almost like shonen harem, except from rather than being scared to talk to the women and tell them that he loves them, he goes deep into relationships with all of them. And he makes a few mistakes, some stupid stuff. There's a beach episode. And yeah, it's nothing but fan service, if you ask me. I honestly, thinking back, I still think it's good. I need to watch it. I'd need to watch it again, but I wouldn't recommend it. There's too many people out there that have dogged me for this and online that have said, yeah, it's terrible. Why'd you hate any context? I just don't think I was young into the doing manga videos, and I just think I just rambled on for too long. Also, it visually isn't entertaining. Maybe as if you just listen to it audio, it's good. But yeah, I would love to do it again and maybe give a little bit more context to it. I just gave my vague thoughts on it, and maybe because it was too long. I then went into each individual saga in a way, which I think extended it. But I mean, it was an okay video. Obviously, got people like you to come, which obviously it did its job. But sitting at 5,000 views. Where is it? Yeah, sitting at 5,000 views. It's literally the most viewed. Well, it's the most viewed public video on this channel. It's not my most viewed video. I've got an old Naruto one that I've made private, which I think has 9,000, which is still not a lot. But also the retention is terrible as well. The retention for this I think is the lowest that I have at 14%. That means out of, I can't do maths, but out of the 5,000 people that have watched it, literally 1,000 people have stuck around on average. Even towards the end, it goes to it's 10. I guess it drops quite quickly. But then also you got to factor in some people watch things on plus 1.5 speed, 2 times speed. I mean, I'm not the fastest talker, but you could probably put me at 1.2, 1.5 speed, and I probably speak a little bit quicker in some of my videos. Earliest memories of Akira? Whoa, that is one to have in the bank. Yeah, I think watching Akira as a kid is probably going to mess you up more than watching some dude just try and have sex with loads of women. Man, that's mental. I only watched Akira think 4 or 5 years ago. I think the soundtrack was amazing. I've heard that the manga is so much better. I would love to get either the box set or the singles. Cartoon with violence. Josh, don't egg him on. It's not a rite of passage. As long as Rent a Girlfriend fan. No, I think Rent a Girlfriend is probably better than School Days. It actually has a story. If this was like 5 episodes, I would say watch it, but 12 episodes is such a long time. Twisted, how's it going? Blue Exorcist was also the video that led me to your channel. Good. I'm glad. Out of the 1,000 people that stuck around to watch most of the video, I'm glad you two stuck around. You and Zeus. Yeah, there are a lot of... Yeah, I think there are a lot of people out there who talk quite slowly. I think it's funny. I'm sure some people in here watch the Weeb family. Now, I love the Weeb family. I think their dynamic is so needed in like the manga scene. To have like a... I guess you could call it a podcast sort of thing, where they talk about all sorts of manga in manga hall format, rather than like, you know, volume 1, they talk about the volume 1 on their podcast, they talk about the volume 1 of all these different series. But the Weeb family are just so much fun to watch. But I do watch them on plus 1.5 speed, which is annoying because the dad sounds easier to listen to for me on 1.5 speed. But then the mum and the daughter talk way too fast. But on 1.25 speed, the mum sounds fine, but then the daughter sounds too fast. So because there's 3 of them talking at all 3 different speeds, it's hard to keep up. But most of the time I put them to 1.25 because their videos are so long. Sometimes, you know, I can only cook and listen to a podcast for so long. So I kind of want to speed it up. But no, that's great. Thanks, Born. Also, I think doing things like doing YouTube for a long time, if you go to some if you pick any manga tuber, if you go to some of their like first videos, they're all shy and timid. A lot of, especially like the females, they're very timid. A lot of the younger boys tend to be. A lot of the boys like talk with a deep voice. Yeah, really, really slow. And plus, when you're young, when you're young into YouTube anyway, you don't have a lot of video editing capabilities. So there's a lot of pauses in between, a lot of ums and ahs. I try and get rid of all that kind of stuff to make it quick as possible. You listen to them like a podcast? Yeah, I think they're great. Yeah, they're amazing. I just have to listen to them on a little bit faster. Depends on what it is. If it's the mum and dad, I listen to them on 1.5 because the dad tends to talk a little bit more, and he's the one that normally is a little bit slower. Hey, what's going? Yeah, I don't like doing that. I think as a new YouTube channel, I think the best thing to do is go straight into the content. A lot of people spend time on an intro, and it could be like 1 minute, 2 minutes before they actually get to the meat of the conversation. And I think that's fine if you're bigger because you've already got a larger audience that are dedicated to listening to what you have to say. But if you're gonna, attract new viewers, you need to hook them straight away. It's notorious. The biggest thing on YouTube is the retention rate. If you click on any of my videos, the first 30 seconds, people drop almost instantly. This is maybe a bad example because people stay for a little bit longer. But if I let's just pick, no, not this one. Let me pick this one. People dip within 30 seconds, like halfway through, to like 50% viewers. This one's a little bit longer. What is this? This is... Oh, that was a manga haul video. But yeah, people dip within 30 seconds. And most YouTubers know about it. So you need to hook people instantly. Because if you don't, people are just going to leave. 30 seconds doesn't sound like a long time, but if you watch most videos, people just dip straight away because people are taking too long on their intros. And most of the people that are dipping are just people who have had your video recommended to them. You watch videos to relax? Yeah. Yeah. I think everyone watches videos for different reasons, don't they? And if you can relax to them, I think the last thing you want is a, high impact song playing and then a big intro to the channel and then a quick life update, that kind of thing. Some people aren't really interested in that kind of thing. The channels where people are really enthusiastic, but I don't want only the style of the video. Yeah, no, I agree. You need to do something about your intro. You need to do something about your upload schedule. As a joke. But all seriousness, upload more videos, please. Did I watch the Cyberpunk anime? No, I'm planning to. So I haven't. Is it on Crunchyroll actually? So I cancelled my Crunchyroll account. What's it called? Cyberpunk anime. What was it called? Is it actually the cyber? Is it just called Cyberpunk 2077? No, it's not. Edge Runners. And where'd you watch it? Oh, it's on Netflix. Oh, I can watch it on Netflix. I'll probably watch it this weekend coming, most likely. Netflix. All right, cool. I'll watch it on Netflix. I was going to say, if it was on Crunchyroll, I'll cancel my account. But I'm going to be picking up my Crunchyroll account, I think, in October, because the anime list is stacked. Plus Chainsaw Man's coming out. And speaking of anime coming out, bang. They released. Did anybody watch the new Chainsaw Man trailer? It looks very good. I've caught up today with Chainsaw Man, like many people in here already have. Some people haven't started it. But one of the most interesting, most things I'm excited for is Kanjuro Tsuda. Now, he's probably my most favorite voice actor, and he's playing Kishibe. And I think he's got the perfect voice. He's got that deep, gruff voice, which I absolutely love. I was really hoping that they would animate the Goldie Pond arc from Promised Neverland, and he would play, is it Luvis? Is that his name? I think his name's Luvis. One of the demons. It would have been perfect. October is way too stacked. Yeah, it's too much. They're all good seasons. All good. Everything that is coming out in October is good. You're so hyped for the Genshin Impact anime? Yeah, that got announced as well. They got crazy. Great casting for Kishibe. Yeah, it was amazing. I love him. Absolutely love him. He was also in Way of the House Husband as well. He just got that nice gruff voice. I really liked him in... I've actually got a tab here. We did Ogata in Golden Kamui, which was great. Absolutely amazing. He's got that nice... He's got like... He does that soft... Almost like he's talking from the back of his throat. The man could send me to sleep. What else did I watch him in that I really liked? He was in Where the House Husband. What else was he in? Oh, he was in Mushoku Tensei. Oh, season 2. I haven't watched season 2. There was something else that I watched him in. Oh, he was in Jujutsu Kaisen as well. Who was in Jujutsu Kaisen? Oh, he's Nanami. Was he? Joker from Fire Force. If you've watched Fire Force, the anime, he's Joker, the guy with the like eye patch. Not eye patch. It's like is it an eye patch? But it covers like his whole side of his face. Yeah, and he has like loads of cards and stuff. He's got a super really chilled, like bassy voice in that. He was super. Yeah, he's just amazing. I think this is the perfect voice actor for him. Oh, he has a scar on one side for some reason in my head. I thought he had scars on both sides of his lips. Clearly not. Absolutely buzzing for the Bleach 1000-year blood arc. Are you though? I'm not gonna lie, the animation looks beautiful. I think I've spoken to a few people, and a few people have said like the big three should do a big reset. Like Bleach and Naruto and One Piece should reset the anime from episode 1, no filler, redone animation. And I think if Bleach did it, I think Bleach would probably be the best one to have that dark, gritty art style, which is what it looks like it has now. That's the thing, when you have a weekly series, the artist is in such a rush to get it out in like 4 or 5 days, so the voice actors can then voice act everything. They just try and skip corners wherever they can. And that's not to say that, seasonal anime series where they've got a lot longer to animate everything is better. I'm sure many people have watched Attack on Titan Season 4 Part 2. It just had the DVD or Blu-ray release out in Japan, and they've redrawn most of the assets because they were in such a rush to get it all out. So they've had to redraw and add new sections and new scenes in. But yeah, Bleach looks absolutely amazing. I personally didn't enjoy the last arc all that much. I must say. It was okay. It was good. The last few arcs, I think most people are just excited that it's back. And hopefully it will be compressed into a good amount of volumes. Yeah, there's websites you can go to skip out all the filler, but it would be amazing if they could do most of the shows, like you said, in the early 2000s and just skip out all the filler and redo the art, especially nowadays, when you got 3D effects that you can implement. October's going to be an anime lover's dream. Yeah, plus Overlord. Yeah, Overlord is very good. I haven't caught up on season 4 just yet. We don't talk about Goldie Pond. Yeah, regrettably. I'm surprised they did it. I don't know who gave the go-ahead. But it is what it is at the end of the day. We have to live with it. I think, honestly, you could probably watch Promised Neverland Season 1 in its entirety and just leave it at that. The last episode, what happens, happens, and then that's it. Leave it open-ended. Just enjoy it. But yeah, I think this is amazing. I'm looking forward to watching this because the trailer looks great. All the animation looks great. But like, modern day movies in the West, I feel like the trailers only show off the good bits. Although it's not showing off any of the story elements, we'll have to just wait and see. I'm sure it's going to be amazing. It's probably handled with a lot of care. But it looks good. And speaking of anime, like Ark said, the Genshin Impact anime got announced, an anime project. And I think the most interesting thing about this, not the fact that it's obviously Genshin Impact, one of the most widely successful gacha games in the last 5 years. Actually, it came out 2 years ago, I think. During COVID it happened, because I was here in this flat. But the most important thing about this is this little bit here, the UFO table. This is going to look stellar. This is going to look crazy good. UFO table, most people know them most recently from Demon Slayer. It's going to look crazy good. And I don't know who Hoyoverse are. I presume they are the same people who make the game, but just like an offset. and they maybe do some sort of animation. They maybe do all the key visuals, maybe, I don't know. But I think there's going to be a lot of money pumped into this. Well, you haven't read the last arc? Was this of Promised Neverland? It's completely different. They changed so much and they rushed the ending. I think after volume episode 4 or 5 of the second season, everything else is basically new material. Some of the points are roughly the same. Genshin Unlimited budget works. Yeah. Yeah. Although don't say that too much on Twitter, because then people tell you how the manga illustrators don't get paid as much. Oh, they are the actual developers. Oh, okay. I thought they were like just an offset company. Oh, for Bleach. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, I think the Bleach anime is going to wrap up really nicely. It's going to compress it all. It's going to look visually amazing. I think you're going to enjoy it. If you enjoyed watching Bleach, I think it's going to be nice to see some of the old faces come around. Manny, how's it going? How's your evening going? And also, I think this is the last one that got an anime announcement. We announced this a little while ago. I think a couple of weeks, 3 weeks ago. But now we got a key visual. I always get a little bit dubious about the visuals that they show us, because obviously it's just a still. You never know how good it's going to be. Undead Unluck recently showed us their key visual of Fumi, and I don't think he has a name at the beginning. I can't remember, so I won't say his name. Yeah, Undead, they looked kind of meh. This looks okay, but I'll be interested to see, one, who the studio are. I don't think it's mentioned. Yeah, I don't think anyone knows, and I don't know if it's mentioned in any of these parts. And the studio's not always mentioned straight away, but I think this is going to be really good. It sold millions of copies in Japan. I'm surprised it's taken so long, because they're just on the I think the 9th volume just came out. Yeah, it's super popular. It'll be interesting to see the visual aspect, because it's such a chilled slice of life aspect. It doesn't need to have like a high impact visuals. Something like Ancient Magus Bride would probably suit it. Whoever did that, I can't remember who did that. Was that Mappa? I think that was Mappa. Mappa can't miss with this. It's gonna, yeah, I think it is gonna be. I think Chainsaw Man is going to be the biggest anime of the year, I would say, even more than Attack on Titan season 4 part 2. I think when Crunchyroll do their anime awards, Chainsaw Man is going to be up there, I reckon. I reckon it'll be number 1 anime of the year. Ah, that's why I'm getting a little bit confused, because I knew it was MiHoYo. They changed their name to HoYoverse pretty recently. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, the Frieren anime is going to be good. I think it's going to surprise a lot of people. It's also going to, obviously, animate the way that things go. People read chapters online in the West anyway, fresh out of Japan. Then, if it's available on some sort of Kodansha or Viz media app, people then pick it up there like days later. And then the volumes come out if it's popular enough, and then obviously manga readers will pick it up. And then I feel like a manga really gets popular when the anime releases. It's doing its job. The reason why they make anime is to help promote the manga. And, you know, Spy Family, Demon Slayer, Jujutsu Kaisen, if they're anything to go by, you know, the volumes get snapped up instantly. I think this might potentially not be the same, but I think it'll get a lot more people interested in the series. And it was also a good way to like, because most people have watch anime for free illegally online, or if you've got Crunchyroll, Netflix, people watch like 2-3 episodes and think, yeah, this is worth me picking up the manga. Whilst a lot of people I know don't pick up manga unless someone's recommended it to them or there's a good review of it that's spoiler free. But seeing the anime, the first 3 episodes, I think people will realize if they want to pick up or not. This is going to be good, I think. How does Marshall not have an anime yet? Yeah, it got announced a little while ago. I think about a month ago, 2 months ago it got announced. It got its key visual of Marsh just punching. Let me see if I can find it. I'm sure there is. Here we go. Bloop. Here it is. 2023. Yeah, Marsh, Undead Unluck are the most recent specifically Shonen Jump series that are getting animated. It wouldn't surprise me, honestly, if Blue Box gets an anime adaptation. Its volume sales are ridiculous at the moment. It's selling quite close to nearly a million. I think a million. I think it's like I say a million. I think it's 500,000, which is normally around the point where people start having an interest in it all. Oh, also, Kaiju number 8 also got an anime adaptation announcement. I think just before Marshall or just after Marshall. But yeah, it's going to be good. Chris, you're good. Going back to work. Take it easy. Thanks for chilling, and I'll see you next time. Wit in Ancient Major Sprite. Okay. In that case, Wit could probably do Frieren as well. And they don't have to go like, you know, Attack on Titan levels of in-depth animation. So let me get rid of this. So moving away from anime news, the French, as always, have picked up everything that has come out of Japan as of late, and they've announced that they're getting Fujimoto's latest one-shot, Goodnight Eerie. We, I think, are getting Laid Back in October or late September. It should be coming out pretty soon. I don't think we've had any announcement for this, but France are getting it before us, as always. Man, when I was younger, I had to pick French when I was at school, and I hated it. Actually, I lie. I loved it for the first 3 years because I was in the top set and I loved it. And then I think I did poorly on my year 9 SATs, my SATs, and they forced me to take GCSE, like higher level education French, and I did it because I was in the top set. But because I did so bad in the exams, they put me down to the 3rd set, which was the bottom set. And that was with all the bad kids who didn't want to do anything. So our teacher spent all his time trying to calm us down. So I ended up not learning anything. And I kind of regret not taking it more seriously, because now I could be buying all this French manga and lapping it up. But hey, it is what it is. But this should be good when it comes out. Also, what I'm a little bit... What is that doing there? I don't know if anyone looked, but Shonen Jump released a bunch of clothing items on their official website. You can get Chainsaw Man, Bleach, Demon Slayer, One Piece, My Hero Academia. Tops, hoodies, jumpers, pretty much everything. I'm super jealous because I don't think they ship outside of America, which kind of sucks. It's crazy that you can buy this. What the hell is this? Look at that. What would you? What is that? Is that a rhino? Yeah, some sort of trunk. This is the kind of thing that you see people have at like gigs and stuff. Yeah, there's some sort of massive like tapestry blanket of Makima and Denji. A lot of people have mentioned that the prices for these is pretty high. I don't know how much, if that is $90, $120, that like average for a hoodie. Heck, we can get hoodies in this country for like 20 with like anime merch on it. Your French teacher got sacked a year before your exam. You just had a substitute teacher and pretty much everyone failed. Yeah, that's kind of annoying. Because you lose all enthusiasm if you haven't got a proper teacher. Like you, my youngest brother, he was 12 at the time, so only a few years ago. And he wasn't getting on with maths. I think it was because he didn't like his teacher. He was failing pretty terribly. And then when he went up to the next year and he got a new teacher, the teacher made it a little more enjoyable for him. He started to enjoy it a lot more, and he's gotten a lot better since. But it kind of sucks. And when you're young, you're very impressionable. You don't really, if you can get away with not doing work, you just do that. But I'm sure, like you, I'm sure you wished you strived on your own to study a little bit. It's getting cold now, and I wish I want to get some new. I do need to get some new clothes. But oh my god, they do a Demon Slayer Nezuko puzzle. How many pieces is this? What's it say? What's on the box? 423. That's such a strange puzzle size. You wasn't feeling the designs for most of the merch. I hope they stick with it. Yeah, I hope they do. Because even if you don't like some of this stuff, who knows, maybe next time. Yeah, stuff like this. I don't know. I've got loads of t-shirts that are similar to this. I just like manga prints and stuff. Back in the day I did. Not so much anymore. We have Uniqlo in the UK, like everywhere else in the world. But they tend to, I'd say maybe a couple of times a month, they'll pick up some sort of anime licensing. Most recently, they did Spy Family and Jujutsu Kaisen earlier on in the year. They'll do like a big batch of like t-shirts and jumpers and stuff. And then once they get sold out, they get sold out. It's where I got this t-shirt from. This is a One Piece. I don't know if you can see it. It's a One Piece t-shirt and it's got Beppo on it, who's from the Heart Pirates. You can't really see it. But it's like a green color, and then got Beppo here. He's sleeping. He's got like a big snot thing here. Actually, he's got like a big snot bubble coming out. He's laying down as he does with a Heart Pirate logo. This is from Uniqlo. I tend to buy my stuff from there if there's any like anime stuff. You can buy you can buy custom made stuff from Etsy, eBay, that kind of thing, but I always prefer to buy something from a conglomerate because that way I know it's like properly licensed and I know it's going to be relatively good quality. You can't hate something without loving it first. Yeah, I guess you're right. You might get the Cyberpunk merch. What else do they have here? So this is Chainsaw Man, Demon Slayer, My Hero. Yo, that's pretty dope. This with Bakugo. What? Super zoomed in. He's got that gok mouth. Yeah, they got some pretty nice designs. This is just volume 12, I think. See, this doesn't look great quality, to be honest. You stick with a bootleg Pokemon shirt with a blue Pikachu, you know. Yeah, that sounds good. Unironically, it sounds a lot better. than most of the stuff that you can buy online officially. Beppo's best boy? He is. He's great. I wish he got more screen time. And Pink Mewtwo. What's this? Oh, this is One Piece. Oh, I would love this. Frankie's, I think, my favorite straw hat. I would love this. I'm super strong, jackass. I've been especially strong this week. That's sick. Is this Sanji? When Oda used to draw all his fingers and proportions really thick. One Piece is just black and white t-shirts. That's one thing that I wish people did. They made more different coloured t-shirts. I'm sick and tired of just wearing white and black all the time. But yeah, some of these look good. Well, Geeky, I'll buy you this. A bleach hoodie. What is that? XX Split was the 20th anniversary. That's pretty cool. The thing is with this stuff, that it's so expensive. $90 for a hoodie just seems so much. Oh, look at the back though. I don't know how I feel about the back. And orange Bulbasaur. Now I think you're just naming some sort of Instagram element flip post. Where they take the elements, they just swap them all around. Be an orange Bulbasaur with a flaming bulb on the back. You like when they collab with fashion brands? Wait, Dragon Ball Z did a Adidas collab? No way. Recently they've done a... Is it Swish? Swash? Swap? The watch brand. Swiss. I think it's Swiss. They did Dragon Ball Z. Oh, Swatch. Swatch are doing Dragon Ball Z watches that you can buy, which I think is pretty neat. And they have one for every. They have one for every. Not every character, like every main character. Got Cell, Bardock, Master Roshi, Goku, Cell, Frieza, and Majin Buu. I would have liked a Krillin one because he's bald. Yeah, stuff like that's cool. I think Final Fantasy did something with Louis Vuitton a few years ago. Yes, they do. Yeah, One Piece did do a Skechers collab. I didn't buy any. I was too scared. Frieza Adidas shoes would... Frieza Adidas. Wow. Is that them? Is this them? This be them? No. They look fire. Man, that's crazy. Yeah, there's a whole market that people aren't tapping into when it comes to anime. I think it's blowing up a lot more in the last few years, and it's only going to get bigger because we're going to grow up, and you know, kids nowadays are going to grow up, they're going to have kids, and they're going to force it on their kids. Jojo and Gucci. Isn't Connor VA, voice actor VA from Trash Taste, isn't one of his Jojo suits from Gucci? But yeah, I would love to have something like this, just a larger selection than what I tend to have in like Uniqlo or H&M. Sometimes have a select anime like t-shirts, if that really. Now Ark, now I know you're lying. That is not true. Or is it? Speaking of merch, you can also buy this, which I thought was a bit weird. You can buy this Dress Up Darling official bed sheets if you want to sleep next to Maureen, which is a bit weird, but you can if you want to. I I found this the same day that the Shonen Jump came out with their range of t-shirts and hoodies and stuff. I was super shocked. And it's official as well, which is a bit cringe. A bit weird. All right, let me tab out because my frame rate is going to go down. Man, Kenjiro Suda. What a man. And he's so handsome as well. Look at him. He always looks like this. I watched an interview with him today, and he just always looks like this. And he naturally just talks. The way he voice acts. It's crazy. The body pillows are weird. We used to have to get a Gundam pillow. That would be amazing. But is the Gundam in a suggestive position as well? Because then you definitely have to buy it. Ba, 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 ba. Right. I do have 0 manga unboxed today. I am absolutely, completely up to date with all my pre-orders, other than Look Back by Fujimoto. I think that's the only thing now that I have expecting in the future. Everything else, I'm kind of waiting. Christmas is coming around, so I need to save a lot of money. I've got a couple of projects that I want to work on. I say projects, a couple of videos that I want to make that involve a lot of money. So I'm kind of saving up at the moment, so I don't really want to buy anything. A lot of the manga I have is like new series that is outstanding now, so I need to get like 5-6 volumes of like Drifting Dragons, Witch Hat, Atelier, and all the new shoujo that I've picked up. Vinland Saga. I said this year I wanted to try and read 1 volume of Vinland Saga a month, because by December that'll be 12 volumes, and I'm only on 6 volumes, so I'm 2 volumes behind already. No, wait, 3 volumes behind now. We're in September. That's crazy. Gundam might be the only non-cringe body pillow. Yeah, Arc, now you have to get it. Very suggestive front and back. Can you see its petrol hole? Oh wait, they don't run on petrol. They run on electricity. Where's its plug? It's in the back of the leg. They even make sense for the body pillows? No way. Like sense based on the characters? That's crazy. But yes, I have no manga this week, but as always, I did read a bunch of manga. I say a bunch of manga. I was off all last week, and I spent most of it playing video games with my brother. We played Plate Up, which is like Overcooked mixed with Diner Dash, if anyone's ever played that. And I did read a little bit of manga, but I made a couple of videos as well. I was able to invest a bit of time in. Normally I rush so much to do my videos, like last minute. I normally do it in like 24 hours, like record, edit, and upload. But this time I took my time, so it was nice. But I didn't read as much as I thought I was going to. I also did start, I don't have it here, but I started reading Paradise Kiss, which is a 5-in-1. There's 5 volumes in total. And I got around halfway through. It was quite girthy. So I tried to make a big dent in that. You ordered Witch Hat? Good. You will enjoy it. If you're into magic. The magic system, when you read about the magic system, is very magical. I wasn't expecting it. If you've watched Harry Potter or any kind of anime or manga series that is heavily focused in magic, or if you've played like Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, that kind of thing, it completely blows. In my head, the way that they did magic was completely different to how they explained it. It was crazy. It's got a big exhaust. Oh my gosh, can't wait. Buy it. I read 2 volumes of Sakamoto Days. Volume 3 came out a little while ago. I haven't managed to pick it up. But I wanted something a little bit light and fluffy. Not fluffy, but something easy to read. It's a very episodic initially. A lot of the bad guys don't really mean anything. And lately, I've been really enjoying Sakamoto Days because I'm reading it on a weekly basis. And I kind of just wanted to relive the original, the beginning of the series, which is completely different now. They've got an overarching story. The first couple of volumes, I'd say the first volume and half of the second volume is very episodic. But yeah, it's starting to lead up to the beginning of where we are now. I think it's great. I love Sakamoto. He's an old guy that just runs a chilled convenience store. He just shoots a lot of people. He's an old school assassin and people want his head because he's not supposed to leave the assassination world in a way. But yeah, I think it's cool. And I'm glad that there's no like power-ups or anything like that. There's a few weird powers from some people. Like Shin here. Is it Shin? His name is Shin, isn't it? Shin? It is Shin. He's clairvoyant. He's got telepathy. He can talk to people. He can hear people's minds. And I think he can start. I think he eventually learns how to like talk to people in the end. Maybe I'm making that up. But yeah, I think it's really good. I think more people should pick it up. A lot of people have dropped it. People that I follow. Which is a shame because it does get really good. But that begs the question, when do you drop a manga series? Ark, do you not have which hat? Atelier? Atelier? How do you say it? In French, I'm pretty sure it's said completely different how everyone says it. No, in that case, you're gonna really enjoy it. Mantis, I think you'll love it. I need to pick up the rest of the series. I'm only on volume 3. And I think volume 9 just come out. I think it only comes out monthly as well. We don't get that many volumes a year. I think it was a long time since the last volume came out. Where am I? Which hat? Atelier. Yeah, it came out 2016. It started, and the last volume we got, yeah, we get around 2 volumes a year, so it's about comes out monthly roughly, I would say. 2 volumes a year, like 7, 8 volumes, chapters. Maybe it comes out every 2 weeks or something. It's good. The anime's not coming out anytime soon. It's been announced. There's no key visuals or anything. We'll probably get the anime this time next year, but I think it's good. I think you enjoy it. And also, it does focus around young girls, but none of them are scantily dressed and none of them are perved on, which makes it easier for older people to read, like me. And then, obviously, if you did watch my last video, I read a ton of shoujo manga. I read QQ Sweeper and Queen's Quality. This is probably the closest thing to an action shonen series for anyone who hasn't picked up shoujo. If you're into shonen, I would suggest picking this up. I think it's really good. I can't really go too much detail about it because I feel like it spoils most of it. But they basically clean up negative thoughts and negative energy from people's hearts. And there's a lot more to the cleaning process. There's like demons and stuff involved. But it's really good. There's a small love interest, I think. It's not really clear, but it's always in the background. It doesn't really. Their relationship as friends is more interesting than them actually getting together. At some point, I'm sure they will, because they are young high school kids, and this is a shoujo. But this was really good. I was blown away at how interesting it was. That's reassuring. Yeah, there's nothing worse. I mean, I say to people when I met up with Not My Cup of Tea a couple Sundays ago, we went manga shopping. I said to him, I love boobs and butts and thighs as much as the next dude. But sometimes I don't like it all too much in my face when I'm reading manga. And Witch Hat, I was quite scared that that was going to be the case, that there'd be a little bit of fan service. Even like small, like up the skirt shots and stuff like that. I didn't want to see that because of how young they were. But it's so fantasy. They're fully clothed like all the time. Even when you see them in their pajamas, they wear like old Victorian style baggy pajamas. Yeah, it's really nice, really wholesome, and the magic system's really great. And I hear it gets a lot more action packed towards the later volumes as well. I think you'll love it. And this, I think, is my first. I've got a couple of like, I wouldn't call them BL manga, but they're manga about boys who like fall into relationships, finding sexual identity and stuff. This one's kind of like that, except from one boy is it's mistaken that he likes another guy, but he doesn't. So it's kind of like a BL, but it's not. It's I think it just finished in Japan, 9 volumes. Volume 4 just came out. I can imagine it might potentially lead down the route of becoming a BL manga. What I really like is that this volume, the image is sideways. You see the kids on the desk like this, rather than it being upright like this. I think it's pretty cool. But yeah, this is actually really funny. It's more of a comedy series than it is a romance series, and it's more of a romance series than it is like a BL, I would say. But no, it was really great. Really good. Do you need to start with QQ Sweeper? I probably should have said that, yeah. So you need to start off with QQ Sweeper. QQ Sweeper is 3 volumes. Volume 1 is almost impossible to find in the UK anyway. And then it's like a prologue, and then it leads into Queen's Quality. I would say though, you could start off with Queen's Quality. You miss a couple of bits of context. It kind of jumps you in a little bit further into the story. But the first chapter and the second chapter start off like introducing the characters again, reaffirming what the current scenario is, what their occupation is, what they do, etc., and kind of gets the relationships back on track. Whilst if you read QQ Sweeper, you'll understand the fundamentals of the world and how things work without having to read too far into Queen's Quality before you understand a little bit more. But yeah, I think it was I think this is great. I think everyone should if you're into shonen series, I would say give this a read. At least if you can read the first 2 volumes online. I had to unfortunately read the first volume online, otherwise I would never have picked it up. Shoujo AI? Where's Shoujo AI? Is that a term? Oh, Shoujo I, like boy love. Probably. Maybe. But it's not shonen. It's shoujo. But yeah, I think, yeah, probably. I'm just looking it up on Urban Dictionary. But yeah, that's probably closer to, it does feel closer to a comedy shonen series. But I think the love aspect is probably more shoujo. And that was it. I literally read 6 volumes, and then I haven't got it on me right now. It's by the side of my bed. But I read Paradise Kiss. I've mentioned before, it's a massive, have I got? Yes, a huge 5-in-1 series, 850 pages. It's really big. It's like this big. Super big. So I've been reading that. I'll probably finish that by the end of the week. And then I think Thursday, I'm going to be starting One Piece again. Where is it? Volume 1 and then 2 all the way. And then one volume a day will take me up to December 31st. And then I'll be up to date with One Piece again for the like 5th time. I think I've read One Piece twice now. All the way, I say all the way through. I think I read up to Ennis Lobby initially, physically, and then I reread it again to catch up to date where I am now. And I think I've watched the anime maybe 4 or 5 times, like the first 500 episodes, so many times. But I'm very much looking forward to picking up One Piece again. It's been such a long time, and I think I'm going to go in with a little bit more of an open mind at the beginning and try not to be too nostalgic about it. So can't believe it's not by manga. That's good. I like that one. Yeah, like I said, 2 volumes deep. I'm just about to read the 3rd volume, and it doesn't feel like it's a BL manga. I don't think the boys like each other. One says he does, but I don't think he does. But then it does go on for 9 volumes, so maybe he will. It feels unreal that we're past 100 volumes. Yeah, it really does. It's crazy. 1,060 chapters, 100 volumes, 20 plus years. When did it come out? The manga was 97? I think it was 97. Nearly 30 years. I say nearly. We've still got ages. 25. But yeah, that's crazy. I reckon it'll be 120 volumes in the end. I think the only reason I recently got caught up with One Piece is because Oda said, I think someone said last year, that it was going to be ending. And now that Oda's like almost hard confirmed it for like the 5th time that it's going to be ending, I'm kind of glad I'm up to date now. And sadly, I don't want to, but I'll probably have to illegally read the last. I reckon the last few chapters that come out, I'll have to read them the day they come out because I'm not going to be able to keep away from the spoilers. I think they're going to be running riot all over the internet. So Asadora, is that the Inyo Asano manga? No, now Naoki Urasawa. Yeah, I have not read it myself either, so I can't comment. But I must say, a lot of people enjoy Urasawa's work. He's one of them manga artists that just can't stop producing manga, and everything that he releases is pretty popular. He's done Monster, Happy, 20th Century Boys, one of his most notorious, most popular. Same with Pluto as well. I haven't read any of his works, I don't think. I know it, but I haven't read any of his stuff. I think I've watched a couple of episodes of Monster, but I never finished it. The end of One Piece is going to be a once in a generation event. Yeah, I think you are right. And I like to think that people who have watched it from the beginning and people who'd only picked it up a month before and caught up, I like to think that we all kind of feel we've all experienced One Piece separately, and in different ways. But I don't think any one person's enjoyment of One Piece is worth more than anyone else's. I just hope people don't come out saying, "Oh yeah, I've been reading it from the beginning, so that means my enjoyment is far more uh, impactful to this event than anybody else's." But yeah, it's going to be crazy. Like 30 plus years of manga. It wouldn't surprise me if he finishes it dead on 30. You got big into One Piece, which is how big the YouTube community is. Yeah. I think, to be fair, I think the shonen community, if you look at most people who do like anime reviews or chapter reviews of all different types of anime and manga, One Piece is normally, One Piece and Naruto are normally the ones that get the most views for them. And it's crazy to see how, if in comparison to something like even like Demon Slayer and Jujutsu Kaisen, when they upload those type of videos or review those type of chapters, they don't get the same reception as One Piece and Naruto. I don't know what it is. The fandom's just too big. I don't know if it's just because it's been going on for so long and we've picked up loads of new fans. Yeah, I think it's crazy. It's going to be one for the record books, and I'm glad I'm gonna be here for it. I say that, you never know what happens, but Sonomaga was probably thinking about his Dead to the Demons to Destruction. I was thinking about the wrong guy? Ah well, they're all the same. Well, it is time for the end of the stream. As always, thank you everybody for sticking around for so long. Whether you're like born, you're here from the beginning, or you've only just come in, or you're lurking and haven't said a single word. I appreciate you for coming along and chilling with me, because without you, as always, I would have no one to talk about manga with, to talk about boobs with, talk about One Piece with. Ain't none of my friends interested in that. And as always, before I leave, I always have a video to go live. You don't have to watch it if you don't want to. It is 3 minutes and 20 seconds long. It's just a question video. When should you drop a manga series? It poses the question, how long do you give a series before you drop it? Do you give it a couple of chapters, a couple volumes? Do you buy the whole series in its entirety and regret it later? But I've seen a lot of people drop series as of late over trivial and silly reasons and not giving them a long enough time period, but everyone's different. And sexy Gundams, yeah, sexy Gundams. Find me a picture and send it to me or tweet it out or something, because I kind of don't want to go through my history and add sexy Gundams to the list of all the other things that I've searched. Now, what will my mum think if she picks up my phone and sees sexy Gundams? And plus, if I type in sexy Gundams, I think I'm going to get something a little bit more lewd than what your body pillow is offering. Anyways, guys, that's pretty much for me. Thank you for chilling. Thank you for all the comments and positivity. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week. And I'll always be here on Monday, hopefully at the same time, around this time, every Monday. A little bit late today because of stupid Shonen Jump being so late. So I'm going to read the rest of Shonen Jump this evening and probably catch up with a little bit more Paradise Kiss. Geeky, stop laughing. Geeky, thanks for sticking around for so long. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed, and